Today's going to be an incredible session. It's going to be very different from the normal My AI Live in the best possible way. And if you don't know my dad, Tom Chenault, he is a legend in network marketing. He is part of the $1 Million Hall of Fame with Eric Worre and a whole other laundry list of amazing things. But most importantly, he truly, truly loves people in a way that I can't really think of anybody else who does. So, Dad, thank you. This is going to be so fun. And I'm going to let you take it away. I got to jump over to another meeting and make sure you're recording because I want to come back and make sure you did a good job. Just kidding. I want to come back and learn from you. So love you. And you guys all have a great time. See you soon.
All right. We're going to shoot the breeze for a couple of minutes. So somebody in 2 minutes, like 3 minutes, remind me to hit the record button if you don't see that pop up at the top. Otherwise, I get fired. I am indeed Adrian's dad, and I completely and totally suck at training things. So if you're here to learn something technical, just hang up. I mean, save yourself the aggravation. There will be nothing today that you learn that will be of use to you on a technical basis. I absolutely promise you that. But at the end of the day, I am one heck of a network marketer. I'm really, really good at it. My organization, before I kind of put it to sleep, is still going strong with over 1 million people in it. My income is still growing strong at 7 figures. And I promise you, what I do works. And inside of what has happened with the fabulous Nowsite, to be able to complement what I do so well, it's just unbelievable. Now, what I want to tell you is that Elizabeth's mother had a stroke. So she's not in good shape. So most of the time people don't, they're also, I don't even know why that is. We never tell anybody anything that's really going on. They're just mysteriously gone. And we don't know if she's fired. We don't know if she's this, if she quit, if she got arrested for DUI. We have no idea. It's none of those. What happened is her mother had a stroke. And it's very, very, very difficult time for her. We think she might be back tomorrow, but if she is or if she isn't, that's okay too. I got to concentrate for a half a second and do something rather important, which is I know some of you are going to have technical questions, and my buddy Lisa Singletary just popped onto the scene, and she knows Nowsite as much as anybody on the planet. So she will be here to answer questions for all of you. If you do have a technical question, I wanted her to be here. Hello, Danielle. You're welcome to ask me something right now. What's up? Oh, press record. Oh, I love you guys. Woohoo! Were you going to say that?
No,
What's
but I
up?
did in the chat. Well, you know what? I started with this company back at the end of January. I've done many, embarrassingly enough, many
recording in progress.
Network marketing companies. This one is like nothing I've ever seen. I'm loving it. I'm having the time of my life. So I started with Nowsite. I guess it's been about a month now, and I'm just wondering. I need some support. I need to know how to build my teams, and so I really would love to listen to what you have to say.
Oh, I'm better at that than they are. This is betterness in the world. Awesome. So that's kind of my golf game. So yeah, because people don't join Nowsite. They join you, they get Nowsite. And who you are for them on the front end, your confidence, your vibe, your absolute unabashed excitement, and their ability to see community trumps everything. So my wife, hang on, I'm going to text my wife something. Don't move. Sorry, I'm so terrible at this.
That's okay.
Message Denise Chenault, please bring me a BLTS t-shirt. She just loves it when I send a memo across the house. It just is unbelievably good for marriages. So whatever I'm going to tell all you guys is don't do that. But it was easier than jumping up. I don't know if you guys know, I got in a terrible car wreck and about killed me. Head-on collision 2 months ago, 55 miles an hour, both sides. 110, flipped 4 times, broke my sternum, concussion, cuts everywhere. So here we are almost 2 months later, and we look a lot better than we feel, but both of us just got our bell rung hard. So if I say something stupid, we're going to blame it on the concussion. So that's what's so good about that. So there is nothing today that can go wrong because I've got the concussion excuse as a backup. So Adrian and Justin and Cheryl, all the muckety mucks of Nowsite can't get mad at me. But what happened was I have been unbelievably successful in everything I have done in the world of business ever since 1972. And the reason that happened is I was running a restaurant in 1972 with 75,000 people a month coming through the doors, which was a flood of people, 103 employees under the age of 18. That's like herding ants. And we were the #1 stop in the state of Colorado for the restaurant suppliers because we were so doggone busy, literally from the minute we opened till the time we closed. The food sucked, but I'll tell you what we did so well was we remembered everything about every customer. And on top of that, every customer that walked in the door, big parties, we found the person least likely to get a compliment, and we figured out what they liked most about themselves. And then we complimented it on them, like their handbag or their earrings or their gray hair, because the customers were like 100. And at the end of the day, we wrote it down. So next week when they came in the door, we asked about Aunt Mary and her handbag. And those people just could not believe we remembered. So they came back next week. And they came back next week, and it built upon itself. So I was a drunk. I don't know if you guys know that. So I was just drinking like a fish in those days. And I drank myself out of the restaurant business. And my dad said, Tommy, that's what they called me way back in the day. I said, what, Dad? He said, you need to sell something to rich people, because he read somewhere you need to sell something to rich people. And so I look in the dictionary or the encyclopedia and Google my name, which wasn't existent at that point. And Chenault is a very famous aviation name. So I said, what the heck? I'll sell airplanes. So I walked into Beach Aircraft Corporation, which was the Cadillac of the sky. And I said, I want to be an airplane salesman. They said, how many hours do you have? And I said, none. They said, why on earth would we hire you to sell airplanes if you can't even fly? I said, well, you've got all those pilots out there that all they want to do is waste your gas and they can't sell. Why don't you try teaching a salesman to fly? They said, that's a beautiful idea. They sent me out there. I was a drunken airplane salesman for a long time. I was really good at it because I didn't want to be in the airplanes. And it was all the same thing from that restaurant that I did. I remembered people better than anybody. So I grabbed all the customers from the restaurant business. I called them and said, who do you know that has an airplane or wants to learn to fly? All those people loved me so much. They missed from the restaurant. They were more than willing to give me that referral that I'm talking about now. And the rest is history. So I went on because I did not want to somebody would get killed in those airplanes. I left on Monday in an airplane and came back on Friday, hopefully without it, all the way through Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. And it was a wild, fun, crazy job. And I learned so much about selling things to rich people and poor people and all people. And I drank myself out of there. And I came home and became a stockbroker. And it was the same game. The restaurant list, the airplane list, and now I'm a stockbroker. I'm selling them. So all they tell me is just, Tom, remember to admit the people in the waiting room. So there's a couple of people that are co-hosts. I'm not remembering that. So please admit everybody. But so this thing keeps growing on itself. And the next thing you know, I'm a huge stockbroker, but I'm still a drunk. And it's a problem because I'm making millionaires out of people. But the bad news is, even though I was making millionaires out of them, the problem was they used to be multi-millionaires. So I was costing them money. It was a nightmare. I was a terrible stockbroker. So bad it was frightening. They had to fire me too. And the next thing you know, I'm there with my hat in my hand. I am a drunk and I weighed 400 pounds and I had no hope. So as a result of that, I finally go to AA. I finally get sober. I just celebrated 2 days ago, 36 years of sobriety. But that kind of blew the door down on the stock brokerage business. And I had to find something to do that was worthy of a great man with all this education and all of these unbelievable accolades as far as work goes. And nobody was hiring. I was purple. I was gigantic. I was arrogant. I was scared to death. I was an egomaniac with an inferiority complex. And I got 2 DUIs and 2 disturbing the pieces in 1 month and ended up in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I had to reinvent myself. And nobody wanted to take a chance on the reinvented Tom Chenault, to the point that at the end of the day, I was applying for places like McDonald's and places like that. I mean, it was horrific. I came home one day, I've got to do something. I opened up a box, and in the box, a newspaper box, and out fell a slip of paper. Unlimited income opportunity. Sounds good. No credit check. Sounds even better. No background check. I think we're home. Start today. I called the guy on the phone. I said, what is it? He said, multi-level marketing. I said, I'm in. He said, don't you even want to know what it is? I said, no, if it's true, I got to do it. And I have. And that's what I've done for the last 36 years of my sobriety. And I've done really, really well at it. But right out of the gate, I realized that there was a problem, and that was throwing up on people, because it doesn't work.
No.
It does
And
not
how do you
work.
get people? How do you build your teams?
Well, we're going there, baby cakes. You just hang tight. Your
Okay.
life's changed today. You have a diary, or do you journal?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, write down October 2nd, 2024, my life changed in your
Okay.
journal, because I'm changing your life today.
Okay.
Because all you got to do is do what I do, and you're going to get what I've got. And you do not have to be like me. You do not have to look like me. You don't have to be the hot mess like me. I don't want you to be anything close to me. I want you to be your unbridled you, because you already are. You just think you're acting like Eric Worre or Lisa Grossman or any one of those hotshot network marketers that you want to emulate. You can emulate them all right, but don't try to be them. Trust God and know that your authentic self is the best thing that you've got going. And everybody already knows you. You just think they don't. And they think that your nice dress or your nice hat or your nice shirt or your nice whatever is really going to make a difference. What's going to make a difference is your heart. Your heart coming out to them is what's going to carry the day. And there's a website out there called thecoffeeshopinterview.com. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Thecoffeeshopinterview.com. And it's a book that's on Amazon for $8. This is the book for free. Because if you buy that on Amazon, you're going to waste $7.99. So don't buy the book on Amazon. Whatever you do, it's not a book, it's a pamphlet, but it might be the greatest book you ever read, because you're going to learn how to be interested, not interesting.
Yeah.
You're going to learn that every interaction that you have with another human being, they are going to leave better, feeling better about themselves than that's your only job. Make them feel better about themselves than when they got there. My shirts all say love like crazy, then love more. My shirts say fire your brain, fire your heart. It is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, you never look past anybody. Every homeless person in Longmont, Colorado, and in Niwot, Colorado, every homeless person in those cities know a multimillionaire. And if you would take the time to give those guys a cup of coffee and sit down with them and ask them if they know any multimillionaires, every one of those people in Niwot and Longmont is going to say yes. And they're also going to say, I can give you his phone number. Because every one of those homeless people in Niwot and Longmont know me. They all know me. I know I was this close to being them. I just had coffee with a guy that has called me after 12 years. I had a cup of coffee with him at 7:15 this morning, an hour and a half ago. His name is Jeff. Jeff was named by MIT one of the 5 smartest people in the world. Wait a minute. One of the smartest 5 people in the world. And Jeff, this minute, is homeless. He doesn't have any teeth. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a life. And his intellect, and he's a great looking kid. But guess what? He believed his own press clippings and tried to ride on that charisma, on that intellect and everything else the entire inch of the way. And here he is right now. That was my breakfast this morning with him, smiling from ear to ear because he finally met somebody that isn't measuring him by his IQ, not by his looks, not by his circumstance, but as another guy, just like me, that's just trying to get through life today. And if you look at everybody, I'll be right with you, Lisa. If you look at everybody without that filter that we all have called interviewing with our eyes, understanding full well that Jeff might not be where Tom Chenault wants him. Jeff might not be where anybody wants him. Jeff might not be where Jeff wants him, but Jeff is 100% sure, 100% certain that Jeff is where God wants him. Then all of a sudden you're standing free and you're saying, man alive, I'm going through this because I'm supposed to go through this. 60 days ago, I got hit by that car. It was the most terrifying moment. What, Lisa?
I want to share my screen just for 1 sec and show the picture of your hand sticking out of that car.
Okay.
With your permission.
I want you to.
That's his hand right there.
That's me.
Oh my God.
60 days ago. All right, you may continue.
Unconscious, take it down. I don't even want to look at that. 60 days ago, man, I got hit like that. And I woke up after rolling 4 times and I thought I was done. And I realized I wasn't. I heard my wife scream. I realized she wasn't dead. And then I laid there going, why am I not dead? I'm supposed to be dead. How hurt am I? And all of a sudden I thought, you know what? There must be something bigger I'm still supposed to do because I'm supposed to be dead. And so I swear I knew I was going to live from there on out, even though they didn't know that for a fact. And it got bad, but it got good. And what I will tell you, Elle, is every inch of the way, I was so proud of the fact that over the last 36 or so years of sobriety, I'd cleaned it up with my dead parents before they passed. I'd cleaned it up with my brother and my sister and my family. I cleaned it up with everybody I know. I don't owe anybody any money. I don't owe anybody an amount. I was ready to be taken by God, which was a great place. But as ready as I was, God didn't want me because he knew I had more work to do.
He needed you here.
What's that?
He needed you here for all of us.
And that work is helping you guys understand it's all about your heart. It's got nothing to do with your head. It's got nothing to do with your product. It's got nothing to do with your presentation. It's got nothing to do with your comp plan. It's got everything to do with you looking straight across the table at the person across there, interviewing them enough through that coffee shop interview. And there's a bunch of spaces there. It's all one word, thecoffeeshopinterview.com, and going to those people and letting them know finally they're not invisible, that they're seen, they're loved, they're accepted. And that t-shirt, my wife didn't bring the shirt. My gosh. So anyway, see the text. She's out there watering the garden, probably, which is going to make her even happier. But this shirt that she's going to bring in has 4 letters on the front of it. BLTS. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, sandwich. What does that really mean? That meant every one of you are here because you want to belong. Hi, Ray Lordeman. I love you, Greeley, Colorado.
Yes, I love you too, Tom.
Every one of you know that you are loved. Every one of you know that you can trust me. And every one of you know that you're safe with me. And if you don't feel that way, it's my job to make you feel that way. Not with words, but with action. I leave nobody behind. I never give up on anybody, no matter who they are, no matter what circumstance they've been through. My job is to love like crazy, then love more. WWJD, what would Jesus do? And if Jesus is your guy, I'm telling you, it wasn't hanging around in churches with all the pontificators. It was getting out there with the sinners and showing people that there's a better way to live life. And it's got nothing to do with what we look like. People see you one time, two times, three times, they've got what you look like. That's all in the rearview mirror. They care what your heart is like, and they care how much you care. And we have proven that. I do a call every morning of my life, 5 days a week. It's called the Hair on Fire call. And I do it every day. And it's like the Seinfeld show. I never have a topic. I walk in there. I talk about whatever God has on my heart. It's always positive. It's always uplifting, but it gives everybody a chance to know they aren't invisible, because they are doing everything they can in society to make us hate, to separate us, and to make us feel like we're alone. And the opposite of addiction, you might not believe this, is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is true human connection. The opposite of addiction is true human connection. When any one of you start isolating, you start sliding into your addiction. And your addiction is it might not be alcohol or drugs. It might not be porn. It might not be gambling, but it's something. And it might be your phone. It might be work. It might be working out. It might be going to church, but you're hiding somewhere. And what I want you to do is look at that hard and understand that the world deserves a little bigger part of you. The world deserves a little better piece of you. And so my job every day, and I'm almost done with the rant so you guys can ask me questions. And if any of this is not making sense or you hate me, hang up. Just hang up. I swear to God, I'm not going to take it personally, because I know I'm not for everybody. And, I know I'm a great place to visit, but you don't want to live here. But I know this works. I know this works. I know Danielle can do this. You got to stop making it about it. And you got to start making it about you and that person across the table. The tools are great. The tools in Nowsite, I use them better than I think literally anybody. If you look at a post on my wall, you'll see 400 or 500 likes on literally, me hugging a dog. Why? Because I have that. They know I mean it. And so I put the post in my own style. And then I let Nowsite rewrite it, and it's got all those emoticons. And then I go back there and rewrite it again with the words that Tom Chenault would really use, that maybe Tom AI missed a little bit. Because I don't want that to hit their head. I don't want that to hit their eyes. I want that to hit their heart. That's where we make things move. Does that make sense to everybody? Am I completely off? If I'm off, because I'm going someplace else on the rotations of the remember here, and it's going to be a little bit deeper in about 1 minute. Everybody okay with where we're going so far? Yeah. Raise your hand if you want to have me talk about anything but this, but hang on a second. So what I do every day is I meet with people. And the first thing I do, I took the picture of Jeff because I want the picture of Jeff. So Jeff, the guy that I just met with, so then I go to my contact mapping app, which is inside of, you've got that available to you already in your Nowsite. So you go to contact mapping, you get the app, you bring it down. I don't know how all that works, but somehow inside of the cost of your Nowsite, you also get the contact mapping. I use the contact mapping literally every day of my life, and it reminds me of literally everything I need to do. There's Jeff Jennings. So I just got him. So he called himself the computer motivator first. He's been in my phone for 20 years because I've known him for that long inside of the recovery program we're in. But I'm going to add another note. So there's his screen. I'm going to add another note right now. So I hit the button, and I'm going to brain dump our meeting. Met at Niwot Market this morning for breakfast. He had an omelet. He didn't have a penny to his name. He has finally figured out that he needs to plug in with people and that he does not have access to how to make money and he wants me to mentor him, period. 62 years old, period, has been borrowing money from his sister progressively for years and owes her $400,000, period. She didn't give him $25,000 from an inheritance, so he stopped talking to her, period. I helped him work that through, period. I gave him the book, The Surrender Experiment, to get him started on realizing that surrender to God is everything, period. We're going to meet in 2 days, period. I think this kid's going to make it, period. He's got 5 kids, period. His mom's still alive, period. His dad died 5 years ago, who was a medical doctor. That's all in there. And the next button said, when am I going to remember Jeff Jennings? I just told you guys next week, but I'm actually going to remember him tomorrow. I hit save. My phone's going to flag me in the morning, and it's going to tell me to call Jeff Jennings. Now, most people are on a 3-month rotation with me. And in 3 months, at age 73, like I am, I can't even remember 3 minutes ago. So I have to look in my app and remember what we talked about at that meeting. And I walk in the door, and instead of playing chit chat, I can go right to the crux of the matter and talk about their favorite subject, which is them. And I can ask them about what's going on with their life. I can remember what's going on with their life. They are blown away because somebody actually remembered them. This kid came back to me after all these years to try to jump into business with me, but I never talked about business with him today. I never talked about him partnering with me today. I want to show him he can't live without me, not convince him he needs to get in my business. There is a monster amount of difference between those two. You're looking, every one of you can build a dynasty in network marketing with 4 people. Every one of you can build a dynasty. And everybody else is trying to get you to throw the shotgun out there and throw it out to the world, hoping somebody sticks. I hate to break it to you, nobody ever sticks. You have got to jump in the foxhole with them, and they need to know that your eyes are popping open at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking about their problems. Dr. Lisa Singletary is on here right now. There's a lot of doctors out there. You're probably looking at her name going, what kind of doctor is she? Is she a chiropractor? Is she a PhD? Is she this? Is she that? She can't be a medical doctor. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on this multi-level marketing call. Is that what your imagination and interviewing with your eyes told you? Truth of the matter is, Dr. Lisa Singletary was an unbelievably successful medical doctor until her parents got very, very sick, like really, really sick. And she left her medical practice and started taking care of them and realized that the medical doctors that were trying to help her really didn't know what they were talking about. So while her parents were convalescing, Dr. Lisa Singletary started learning about nutrition. And when her parents passed, she kept learning about nutrition. And as that went on, not only did she get access to her parents' health, but she got access to her own. And she literally healed herself from all kinds of stuff through nutrition. And she said, my gosh, I got a medical doctor degree, which can't hurt me, but my life is given toward teaching people that nutrition is better than all that medicine. So I've got to reinvent my life and go do that. So she did it. And so she has reinvented herself as a powerful network marketer who never stops learning. So she's trying to do it the conventional way with a lot of network marketers trying to tell her a ton of things. And she discovered Nowsite. And when she discovered Nowsite, she realized she could merge her intellectual pursuit with her nutritional passion and her network marketing business. And the rest is history. And that's why she's here right now, is because she figured out the answer to all 3 inside of what you guys already knew without getting a medical degree. And that is Nowsite combined with network marketing, combined with that contact mapping app that you didn't even know you had, with the documentation, the loving people, the rotations of the remember, and the very most important thing. And then I'm going to bring Lisa in to ask to tell, because what you guys know is my kids call me Tom, Tall Tale. Because I'm telling you, I make every story a whole lot better with the way that I tell it. And some of it's like kind of true, and some of it's not even close to true, but most of it's true. But here's the deal. The most important thing for you to remember is what everybody already knows about you. And that is remember, 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 ask. Remember, 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 ask. But you guys don't do that. You do ask, maybe remember. Ask, maybe remember. So many people call me on the phone. Tom, you're rich. So what? Can I borrow $1,000? I haven't heard from you in 5 years. I thought you were dead. I know, but can I borrow $1,000? Well, let me think about it. And then I try to get to know them a little better to see if I want to loan them $1,000. But the people that were remembering asking, one of them might be on here right now. It's a whole different conversation. Tom, I need money. Good. You got $1,000 line of credit. I'm ready. Tell me where to Venmo the dough, because she's been in my life all the time. I trust her with my life. I know she's going to pay me back. And I know it was because she's remember, Tom, I love you, I love you, I love you. Can I borrow money? That's okay with me, because we all need to borrow money once in a while. I need to borrow money once in a while. I know what it's like to need to borrow money. I know what it's like, especially to not have anybody willing to loan me money. But I'm telling you, if that's you and you have people that have money in your life, hit them with a remember, 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 ask. I promise you, it's going to go far better for you. And in your network marketing business, it's the same thing exactly. Start with remembering people. And Eric Worre, I think you guys know him, one of our partners in Nowsite, big partner in Nowsite. All of a sudden, I'll be right with you, Lisa. All of a sudden, Eric Worre said, you know what? I can't even believe this is true, because it seems the slow way what Tom Chenault does, but it's so much the fast way. And every time Eric Worre has an enrolling thing on his big stage, I'm on it, because I can kick the crud out of all those hot shots with their click point, and then ultimately quit, because they joined with a click, they quit with a click. My people stick because I love them. I know them. I remember them. What the heck is so complicated about this? So you interview 2 people a day is the minimum, the bare minimum that you interview a day. And you put them on a rotation or remember. And at the end of the month, you have 60 people. At the end of the month, at 2 months, you have, I don't know, what's 60 times 2? Somebody tell me. 120, 60 times 3, 150, 60 times 4, 250, 60 times 5, 304. None of those numbers are right. I'm trying to prove to you, you don't have to be smart to do this. You just have to love like crazy, then love more. What do you want, Lisa? Telling me to shut up?
I want you to take a 5-minute break. I found a free 5-minute timer on YouTube.
Oh, good.
And we're going to do 5 minutes of posting. And then I'm not sure what the hard stop is, but we probably have to stop. But we can take a couple questions after that.
Thank you for keeping me on track. Yeah, so the 5-minute thing right now.
Okay, but before
wait. Let me give them some instructions on that.
Look at Carol Casey. I
see her. The coffee shop interview. Tell me that book is worth more than a penny. It's not. It's great. It's a great book, but I want these people to download it right now and get into action. And ultimately, and Carol Casey, send me your address on a private message. I just put my phone number up, and I will send you an autographed one of those just because I love you.
Oh, thank you.
That a deal?
Awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool. But what we want you to do right now is, I don't want you to do what Elizabeth's telling you to do or anybody like that. I want you, even if it's Elizabeth, I want you to send some people a text that you love, the 10 people you love the most in your life. I want you to send them a text right now that says, hang on, maybe I can do this because I'm so technologically, but hey, comma, how you doing? Comma, haven't talked to you in a while, comma, what's been going on in your life, comma, and what can I do to make your life better? Question mark. Okay, that's in the comments. Some text like that to 10 people where you have no agenda. You haven't talked to them a while. You called yourself on that. You ask them how they were doing, and you ask what they can do to make your life better. And you might feel like that's even creepy, and you don't want to put that in there. I would love to have you put in a question, because that will elicit a response. So the good news about what I just did right there, I accidentally recorded those instructions too. So here they come. That's just how bad I am. So that they're there too. So what I just told you to do, thank God I didn't cuss. It was dictating, even because I turned off that dictation button on my phone. So that was cool. So you guys, you
He
can
likes
do
me to use
this.
these.
Take 5 minutes
Like
right
it's
now.
moisture in it, and then the actual.
What?
I muted it. So I'm going to start the timer for the 5 minutes. You know, we don't answer anyone that texts you back, right? It's just text.
Just put them out. Can I talk through the 5 minutes? Or do I have to shut up?
You can talk.
Okay, good. I love to talk.
Okay. I was going to say,
I have a question.
Yeah.
You send that text message to people and they don't respond. What do you do?
Love them. Wait another month or so and text them again and love them. I swear to you, this is true, Courtney. I'll do it right now. I'm texting. I'm not gonna put their names up because I don't want you to know who hates me. But there's a couple people that do. And I'm like, here it goes. Hang on. I'm doing the same thing you are, and I'll read the text out loud that I'm going to send. They are not fond of me. Keep texting yourself, you guys. Hey, it's Tom Chenault. Just wanting you to know that you are awesome. And good luck at the big event this weekend. I'm glad you're going. And make sure you have fun and change the world. Boom. That's out. They're going to look at that thing and they're going to go, that guy is a jerk. And they're going to put the phone back down, and that's that. But guess what? It doesn't matter. There is nothing on the other side of your nose. The fact that they can't hear it right now is because of some past hurt, either on their own line or some past hurt with you. But it can be repaired. And trust me, having almost died 60 days ago, you do not want that kind of baggage in your life. You do not want to be going, I didn't try to repair that relationship with whomever it might be. And we all know there are some serious relationships that all of us have that need repaired. And just putting out that energy with because there's nothing on the other side of because. Put it out there with love and let it come back if it does. And if it doesn't, you still put it out there in love. It's in the universe. Don't put an agenda on it. Put it out with love. And that's all I want you to do. And I'm not wrong about this. Think about it. Think about it. And I want you to think about something else while you're thinking about the text that you're sending. And I'm going to confuse the heck out of you. When was the last time you did that coffee shop interview on your spouse, where you really checked in and asked them what their goals were, what they want their life to look like in 5 years? What's really going on for them? Because it's the people closest to us that matter the most, that we take our relationship for granted. You know, coming out of this accident again, my wife and I both realized that the accident happened for a reason, and that is trauma. And we realized that we had looked past trauma. I had no idea of the ramification, the seriousness, or the depth of trauma. And my wife got like a doctorate in that. She's a big coach. She's been trained by Byron Katie and a couple of other people that are incredible in that world. But I never really linked it to what I do in my life every day, which is a hope merchant. And I didn't realize, and Gabor Mate said it, that trauma is basically on the front end of all addiction. And you guys by now realize that my life's about addiction and serving those people that are trying to get off of that, which is literally everybody. So I think God opened up another chapter for me called You've Got More Work to Do, Tom, and that's helping those people too. And I'm not closing my eyes to any of that. I'm 73. I wanted something that was bigger than me as a challenge, and sure as heck got it. Yeah, Martha Beck is her other coach that she went through that. Byron Katie and Martha Beck are her two primary people that she's worked with. And they're both really, really cool. Way too deep for me. When Denise goes and does those courses for 2-3 weeks, I go to Australia and hang around on the coast and have a blast and come home, and we both act like we missed each other like crazy and look forward to the next event. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I hope you've had fun in this call. I hope you tell Adrian you had fun. I hope you tell Justin. I hope you tell Cheryl Coco. And I hope that I've given you access to something inside of the Nowsite work. And we're going to have Lisa talk about that a little bit, because she's got a doctorate in Nowsite now, and she's helping me. But what I needed to have were those two things where I can really, really have people know that my words are coming from my heart better than I could have written them myself. And that's why I use Tom AI, because Tom AI is a whole lot more eloquent than this graduate from Littleton High School. So that's what I love about that. So yeah, it's cool.
Okie dokie. I know that there are questions about,
I think about,
oh, wait.
Yeah, a part of it is,
sorry, I wasn't sharing my sound.
What do you want to know? What are you doing?
Ending the 5-minute timer ended.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to get back to you because you said I was going to say something. So there we go.
So I'll tell you a fast story while she's getting ready to teach you something about Nowsite. Harvey and Sally Atchison were very, very good friends of my mom and dad. And they had known me through all the stuff of me. So I get sober. I've been sober a while. I've done all the work of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm not too bad a person. And I call Harvey and Sally on the phone. And I go, hello, Harvey. Hello, Sally. How are you guys doing? I'm asking them all kinds of questions about their life. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I get done with the conversation. I get a call 5 minutes later from my sister. And my sister goes, Tommy, what? She goes, are you drinking? I go, why? She goes, because Harvey and Sally just called me. I go, so what? I just called them. She said, yeah, I know. They thought you were calling for bail money or something. I go, no, I'm not calling for bail money. I was calling to check in with them and see how they were doing. They said, no, Tom, you had to have some sort of agenda. What was the agenda? I said, Steph, no agenda. I was just checking in on them. But people have such a tough time being with that. They can't even believe it, because they can't even accept the fact that somebody actually just called because they love them. And I called them because I loved them, because they'd been so nice to my parents. So all of you have those people in your life. Reach out and love them. And then all of a sudden they're going to say, you know what, that Tommy Chenault, he's selling this, he's selling that. You should give him a call. He's so kind. He calls us and checks in on us. All you want to do for this business called network marketing is focus deeply on being a better person. And it's all going to work. And I just put.
Could you tell the difference between the follow-up and the rotation of remember?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So you do the coffee shop interview. Smart question. So you do the coffee shop interview, and by now you know their blood type. You know what's going on with them. You've asked about their money. You've called and asked about their time. You've called and asked about their health. And you're reminded, and you figure out where their pain is. And the next time you call, you make sure you ask about that, because you're looking for that inevitable time when they go, well, what do you know? What could you help me with on that? And so remembers are picking that scab, so to speak. And then the ask is, you know, you told me you had fibromyalgia. I work with a doctor that might be able to help you with that. You know, you told me, and I want to send you a video about that. You want to always send a tool. You told me that your house was being foreclosed on, or that you hadn't gotten a job after getting college education. I know a guy, I work with a guy, and I was talking to him about you, and he just might be able to help you, and he said he wants to talk to you. So you're always going to that conversation using a third-party tool to go to the point of sale. So it's remember, ask. But if somebody talks to you on the phone on the first call and tells you you've got pain, they've got pain, and you immediately say you've got the cure, or they need money, you've immediately got the solution, they sense an agenda. When they feel you've been thinking about them, it shifts from sales pitch to heart-driven concern. And what you want to live in is heart-driven concern. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, Robert, that's correct. It works. It works. And it doesn't take more time. It takes less time. And your phone will start ringing off the hook for big stuff. And if you become that person like me that knows literally everybody, you become indispensable. You become directory assistants. You become that Godfather type guy, to the fixer to like everybody. Eric Worre, we're going to talk about him again. He'll tell you this story is true. Eric's family coming in to Aspen, Colorado. Eric, the weather's terrible. Eric had to park his jet in Grand Junction, Colorado, because he couldn't get into Aspen. Everybody coming into Denver couldn't get to Aspen because the snow was so bad, only specific cars could get the people there. So Eric is beside himself. Everybody wants $5,000, maybe. And Eric called me on the phone and said, Tom, I have a problem. Do you know anybody that could run my daughter and her family to Aspen? I said, give me 1 minute. I called Robert Estes. You guys might know him. I said, Robert, what are you doing right now? He said, I'm just pulling into DIA. I said, why? He says, I'm trying to find somebody to pick up. It's like unbelievable. I said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to call Eric Worre. He's going to hook you up with his daughter. I need you to haul her to Aspen. He'll pay whatever you want. Done deal. I called Eric 1 minute later. I said, your problem is solved. This guy's calling you right now. Pick up the phone. Eric literally swallowed a cigar because I solved his problem. Eric will do anything for me. So what happens? 2 months later, 3 months later, Eric's going to Disney World. He's driving the jet. He gets to Disney World. He's staying in the nicest hotel. He's got the whole family gathered around. Told them we're all going to Disney World tomorrow. Called the front desk and said, we need 10 tickets to Disney World. They said, tough luck, buddy. You should have bought those sooner. You can't go till like Tuesday. Eric swallows his cigar again. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He calls me on the phone and said, who do you know at Disney World? I look in my contact mapping app. I put the word Disney World in it. Up pops the name Tina Fey Rose Herman, something like that. And I go, what's she doing? So I pop her number. I look at it, and I remember that when I was speaking for Fraser Brooks in England, I put out the word that I wanted to have dinner because I was alone in London. Her and her friend took the bait. We had dinner. They show up with all the pink Mickey Mouse ears in the whole shot. It turns out that they're obsessed with Disney, with that. So they are so Disney, it's unbelievable. So I called her on the phone. I said, listen, I got a problem. Eric needs some help. She said, give me 2 minutes. She called back and said, I solved it. How do I get hold of Eric? It's all connection. It's all connection. You guys are so agenda driven that if somebody doesn't buy your product, you're mad at them. You hate them because they need it, and you never call them again. Instead of figuring out what you can do to serve them. You are a lot more than the product your company has. You're a lot more than the comp plan your company has. You are you. And so are the people you've got on the phone. You need to go deep enough into the interview to be able to map them, to be able to find that unbelievable great stuff when you need it so you can go help somebody else. Your network is your net worth. That's what Robert Blakely just wrote.
We get this every day, Monday through Friday, on the Hair on Fire call. So tell them how to get there. Tom, do you know? Okay, I have the room. I have the room number, but we have to go because
We have to get off of here?
Coco.
No. We're already done?
Yeah, we're done, baby.
You guys, do you want a refund? Did you get your money's worth? Would you please tell them all that that guy knows nothing, but I learned a lot? That's what I want you to say. Please, 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 especially my little boy, Adrian, Johnny Dehami, you got the greatest smile I ever saw in my life. If I had your smile, I would be so rich. You too, Pamela Landvrot. It's unbelievable. Keep using it. Your face says it all. I love you guys. It's that simple. Everybody have the best night ever. My phone number's in the chat. Call me, text me, send wampum, whatever you want to do. I love you. Thank you. Bye, Bill Rogers.
One of those two links should work. We love you all.
Bye-bye.